Hi guys, my name is Judy.
And I'm Benji.
And these are our baby bears, Kira and Mia of It's Judy's Life. And today we're here at Cool School for the Story Circle!
And today we're going to be reading you Jack and the Beanstalk.
You guys ready? Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack. Jack lived with his mom in a small town where nothing exciting ever happened. It was so boring that the #1 pastime was watching paint dry. Every Saturday, Jack's mom would send him to the market in a neighboring town to get groceries. This particular Saturday, Jack went and spent all the grocery money on just 3 little beans.
These are no ordinary beans, they're magic beans. Do you like magic?
Yeah!
Well then you're gonna love these beans.
And just like that, he snatched Jack's money and was gone in a puff of smoke. He did disappear like a magician, so the beans must be magical. Jack ran home super duper excited about the magic beans. He showed his mom. She didn't believe in magic and she scolded Jack. Then she threw the beans right out the window. But good thing she did, because that night the beans grew into a giant beanstalk. It went all the way up to the sky. Just imagine if they had grown like that inside the house, that would have been messy. This was the first exciting thing that had ever happened in their town, so everybody came to look. But Jack was the only one brave enough to climb up to the top. When he reached the very tip top, he saw a whole new world where everything was huge. It was like a place for giants. He felt so small here. He was the same size as a mouse. It was a little scary being that small, but he had to go explore. Whoa! They had a giant TV? It was like a movie theater screen. Cool! Just then the floor started to rumble. Was it an earthquake? Eek! It was a real live giant!
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the feet of a little one.
Hey! My feet don't stink! Then he remembered he was very tiny compared to this giant. So maybe now wasn't the best time to argue. But the giant had already heard him. Although to him it sounded more like this. Hey! My feet don't stink! And just to be perfectly honest, Jack's feet were a little stinky. But that's beside the point. The giant had found Jack! He ran to the beanstalk. He slid down faster than that one time when he went down the big water slide at Six Flags. Phew, he made it. But not before the giant saw the beanstalk, and that was bad. That was very, very bad. You see, the giants who lived up in the clouds had never had a way to get down to the earth below where all the people live. But now they had a big beanstalk to climb up and down whenever they wanted. Now Jack's town was like the giants' downstairs rec room, full of snacks and amusement. Luckily, the giants were vegetarians, so no one had to worry about being eaten. But they did have to worry about being smashed! The giants loved Jack's little town. They ran around and played tag, which caused a lot of rumbling and shaking and made a very big mess. The giants also thought the humans were adorable, and they started to treat them like little pets, putting funny sweaters on them and naming them things like Mr. Fluffy and Bingo.
Pretty little pet.
We have to get rid of these giants!
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I tickle you on your tum-tum.
Jack and the other townsfolk held a meeting to discuss how to get rid of these giants.
I say we build a giant trap. That would take weeks.
How about we all just move?
We're going to have to cut down the beanstalk.
Chopping down the beanstalk does no good if the giants are still down here, squashing all the real estate and eating all the corn.
And calling me Fluffykins.
Yeah, they'd be down here forever. No thanks.
Okay, so we just have to get them all back up there at once. I have a plan. We're going to need a very big saw, a parachute, and all the cute stuff we can find. Jack's plan started with all the townspeople hiding in their basement. Jack put on the most annoyingly adorable stuff the giant had been making people wear. He put on a fuzzy sweater with a smiley face that lit up, a little hat with bells, bunny slippers, pants that had My Little Ponytail, and a bib that said, "I'm the baby, gotta love me." Then he ran out into the town square and yelled out, "Hey, look how cute I am! I am so cute! Whoever catches me gets to keep me as their pet forever!" Well, the giants thought he was so adorable. They went to scoop him up, but he was too fast.
Catch me if you can.
The giggling giants chased Jack all through town, past Jack's house, and right up the beanstalk. He ran around until the very last giant followed him up the stalk. Once they were all there, he ran to the edge of the giant world and jumped. This is where the parachute came in handy. Jack sailed through the sky, and the townspeople took that as their cue to chop. The mayor shouted, "Mr. Lumberjack, tear down that stalk!" The townspeople cheered as the stalk teetered and wobbled. The lumberjack yelled out, "Timber!" And the big beanstalk crashed to the ground. Jack landed and everyone hoisted him up on their shoulders, chanting, "Yay, Jack! Yay, Jack!" The giant beanstalk turned the town into a huge tourist attraction. Looky-loos from all over the world wanted to come and see the big stalk and the brave hero who defeated the giants. The end.
So what did you guys think? Did you like that?
Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, and also for a complete playlist of the Story Circle, click the video right here.
See you guys later. Bye.
Today, we're over at Cool School for the Story Circle.
That's right, and we're gonna read The Boy Cried Wolf. Are you ready?
And just then, Terry came running into town screaming,
"Wolf, wolf, 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 hey everybody, there's a wolf! There's a wolf! Run for your lives, wolf, 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 wolf! Help, 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 help!"
Old Mr. O'Brien ushered all his chickens inside of his maximum security chicken coop and locked the doors. Everyone in town scrambled to their houses and stores and locked them up tight, leaving Terry laughing in the town square.
You silly people! There's no wolf!